And then try and
right, a short length of rope. We've got a short length of rope.
Yeah, I think I've got one in there. Should we have a shelling there, Cole?
Sorry?
Bit of shelling out of your left.
You don't need a huge length of rope. Just a little trick on if you are going to stack them, which makes it a lot easier, something I'm trying to get into people's things. You end up with a bite, put your arm through the bite, and then start stacking. It means that you're not tying this extra funny knot in, and it means that every rope you walk up to, you know that automatically that the part with the split end is the part you pull it out and it comes straight out. Okay. It's one of those simple tricks that for some reason we don't seem to do. And that's a personal thing which I'm trying to push around in the system. You'll notice in the book it doesn't teach it that way, because somebody who put the book together only knew the really hard, complicated ways to make it difficult for people to learn roping. Okay, so there's your Z. So now you put your ropes in your Z, and then we're going to fit it all together in a second. The thing to remember is that end up there is always your pulling end, and you pull away from the cliff edge. So this here we define as the cliff edge. This is the end that we bolt on, and that's the end we pull with. The other thing that you need is you need another little anchor point, and we need an anchor point that we can pull in the right sort of angle there, preferably.
Could you use the pole again? Or
we could. We'll use the pole again. I prefer another anchor point, but we'll use the pole. Put on the rope.
How about the hole?
Put that one on. Right. Don't shut the carabiner on that yet. Okay, this one's just in here. Okay, what you need, somebody feeding that and tying that off. Now just watch the gutter. What are you going to do? Pop a block of wood in there? Because otherwise I'm going to crush it. Also, we should have...
because it's got two sizes.
We're not...
Can you reach that? Just turn it whichever way it fits.
Hang on, Steve. Yeah, no, I'm just about at the end. Steve, tighten her up nice and tight and lock her off. We'll hold her locked off.
Can you move the timber up?
When they release the tension, yeah.
Lock her like that. we crush the gutter anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put the block in here, then when you tension
Like that?
you want to actually put the block in, when you tension, the line went that way.
You're right, okay, do you want us to release it so you can do it again?
Yes, please.
Okay, give him some slack. Sitting in the rear.
Got another block of wood?
No, it should be right once we get it in.
I'm really bending it now. I'm crushing it.
Yeah.
Give me a hammer, I'll fix it up, you'll never know.
Do you want to put some more wood or something in there?
Got more block, I'll put more wood in here.
Otherwise, no, what we'll do is we won't go the full hog, it's only a training session. Okay, tension that right up. We'll say that's enough tension at the moment. So you see how the Z drag works? Yeah. Right, now the lock off. We'll actually go, we'll actually lock off over there. Give us another gold tail. And we'll go through the lock off. Just get around, can't see you get around here.
These guys don't come down.
We'll only do 3. That one there. Okay, like so. For the gates. Oh, this one hasn't been used much. This one's shiny and new. Good thing about gold tail is it's actually one piece of equipment that is made to work with 13mm rope. Right, now to lock them off, you need to bring it across. I actually need it to come through once more. If I bring it up and over, you'll notice there's a groove up the top there, which the rope sits down in.
Yeah, double lock.
You then bring it down through the bottom and do a half twist, bring it back down, which locks it all down and beds it all in, and it's going nowhere. Now the tension of the rope across there holds it in. Okay, that's your lock, that's your second lock. You need to put a second lock in. Even if you're just sitting on it by itself, if it's just got a single lock in it, you just rope creep very slowly down the rope, millimetre by millimetre. And the heavier you are, like you'd probably do a faster rope creep than I would, and I'd do a faster rope creep.
To sit there with a single lock on, you still need your hand.
That's right.
Don't need very much though.
It does creep slightly. So that's how you lock off your gold tail. And the beauty about it is you can walk away from that and leave it. Okay? The big thing you do need to do is make sure that you do monitor it. That's what your safety officer needs to do. Because if somebody comes and fiddles with it, then you're in a world of hurt. But the theory is that you can walk away and leave it. If you want to, make sure that nothing's ever going to happen.
A third.
You come around and you do some half hitches. No, not a third.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Do some half hitches. Where's that extra carabiner you had?
Drop it into these.
No. Drop it onto the rope.
Oh, right.
Okay, you just drop that back onto the rope. And all you're doing now is you're making it harder for somebody to just walk up. It starts looking a bit messy now, but the thing is, it's really hard for somebody to just walk up and accidentally release it. They just can't accidentally release it. They've got to take a carabiner off, take 2 or 3 half hitches out before they start releasing the brake.
Gives you enough time to say, "Oi, what the fuck are you doing?" Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Whereas
Got
the,
that on tape too.
whereas the other one, you can walk up to, if somebody just wants to hold this up, Leaving a little in the slack. I just don't want the gold coal in the dirt. You can walk up, and this is how quickly it is to release it. And that is not enough time for the safety officer who might be over there to stop it. Okay? Right, we're happy with that? Happy with the Z-drag?
Yeah.
And how it's put together? And there's reversible brakes and all sorts of things. Comes roping where it's end, I'll feature those. But that's the best and simplest way to get your tension onto your rope. Right? There's another method which is harder, which is actually making a Z-drag within the end of the system. So if you don't have enough equipment, you can do an improvised thing, but you should always have 2 pulleys. And if you've got 2 pulleys and a mechanical tender, or 2 pulleys and a prusik loop, you can make a reversible brake. Because you can use a prusik loop instead of this. Sorry, not a reversible brake, a Z-drag. You can use a prusik loop instead of this. Okay. And in emergency, you can use carabiners. In fact, grab us a prusik loop and I'll show you. Issue SES prusik. Crank on tension as well and brake the gutter too. What's the difference between this one and the previous one?
Well, there's no pulleys.
Yeah.
No manual.
You go through a lot of guttering.
A lot of what?
Guttering.
Guttering? No. What's the difference in the Z-drag? Ability of equipment damage at some stage here, but you can still tension your thing up. You can still see that I'm able to bend the gutter and start to tension it up. You put 2 or 3 people onto this and you'll get a lot of tension.
In the builder division
So, right, you're happy with that? Happy with the Z-drag?
Yes.
Okay, let's pull this down and then put it together.
Steve, did you want us not to use gold tails at all?
No, I want you to do both. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you wanted
No, you've got to have 1 gold tail in there.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have a second gold tail
Yep,
in there,
no
is what I
worries.
was saying.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Now, see how the slot is? Go the opposite direction to the slot. So when it's going through, it's going the other way.
It's got to move the gate.
That's it to the winch. The winch. And he's there with the winch hook in his hand.
Fairly tight fit. Give yourself lots of slack.
No.
So take it right. That's it. So take a big loop like that, and then you'll find it'll go through a lot easier. And then no, big loop.
Go
Big
out
loop.
west is
That's it.
winches are for livestock.
Get him out of lift people.
That's it. That's enough. Then
No, get it right. Right, pull on here. You pull the rope through. Leave the rope through. So you get the slack out of it.
Oh, no, it's coming for a bigger ski, but I need
Because when you release it, it's going to need to do that tension into it.
That looks like one of my traps down there. That aluminium one.
No, I've heard you say that.
blue.
of your main line, because one end of your main line's under, if you're hanging off one side of the building, one side will be under tension, one side won't.
What's going to happen then is when they're hanging like that, you mean? Okay. You're still within the bounds of your alpine butterfly. That's still fine, because it's then going to come back to that at some stage. Okay. That's what it's designed for. Whereas if you put a figure 8 in there, and the problem, you don't want to put a figure 8 in the middle there,
Because it's pulling it apart.
that's right, because you then have exactly the same effect of using an alpine butterfly as an end knot you have with a figure 8. You're then pulling the whole thing apart. Right? And remember I said the point that these knots generally fail is where they come in or out of the knot, not here. Generally it's somewhere there or there. So what you've done is you've increased your chances of a failure.
We had the same argument with somebody last week actually.
So that goes
tape
down
knot?
there.
No, because, they tied the tape knot and they'd done their loop, instead of bringing it in from where
I had to get on the roof to attend, to get the qualifications, and did I have to get up on the roof? And they said, no. You'll be right, you just come along and just hard on the experience, you just come back from Sydney and all the rest. But anyway, we did the course on the what's name, and because I couldn't get on the roof, I didn't give me the certificate.
Well, that shouldn't have happened because you would have still been on contact if your back was still sore from the traffic accident coming home from the job.
Well, actually, I'm going to attend another one.
Yeah, well, whatever, you were on the job
Yeah.
when you had a traffic accident, so you were on contact from Sydney anyway. So they shouldn't have been trying to force it.
Oh, no, they were trying to force me to do it. No.
Well, they were, really. They wouldn't give you the certificate.
Okay, let's just talk about statistics. It's raised an interesting point. The last one which I didn't, this was a John Young one at Young, I presume we're talking about.
No, that was Young was 12 months ago.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago.
Right, and this was
just back from Sydney.
Was this a weekend for training as an SGT, or was it
No, we did training
in
Stormden to become a accredited to training in Stormden.
So it was a T3 type weekend?
You already
trainer weekend like this one.
Yeah.
So you already have storm damage certificate, and you already have your small group training.
Yes.
Okay. I'll return to this comment about statistics in a little while, that's fine. Let's clarify something on that. Yep. Gregory.
calling that
Is that right? Twice in one day?
I wouldn't do, you haven't given me the wife.
Okay, far away.
Surpassed in one aspect was sort of had the other. What I did it was all, the alpine butterfly in the middle, the rugby, to pull it up like that. That's the way I was taught. I haven't never been told any different. And see it done a different way with the tensioning technique too. Sort of it's going to do it might happen, you could say.
Well, let's thing that you've got to keep locked in your brain is that the alpine butterfly in the middle and everything's gold ragged over the roof is not wrong. It's just different options. And that's the whole, my aim for each weekend. Okay, Will?
Yeah, well, it's good when I figure out that pension system is something different for male pension. The training aid things that do what we use there, the little models and stuff. There's something around here you have to do to make the models on the wall. Yeah, it's still on my information.
Yeah.
As well.
Great, yes.
And that figure running on the point.
Yes. Good. Ivan.
Well, starting the pipe. The initial start of the pipe was start where we got raw, doing more details. That was the back point. But after that, it picked up, better organized than the last one in young. No pressure, as Tim said. And I just picked up a lot of things. What I hadn't been shown a lot of things. So I picked them up now, and now I can go back and teach our guys. That's the way to do it. And that's the easier for me to teach them.
Colin.
Something good. I think the kinds of things I learned out of it were some of the teaching aids, just some different options for teaching things. I think they were very good. Like use of models, both for shoring and sandbagging and the like. Lots of options there for doing things perhaps quicker and a way that people can relate to more easily. And yeah, I found there's a few things I learned personally over the weekend which I think were good too. I don't have any music.
Okay. Just from my point of view, the weekend ran pretty much the way I run most of my weekends. The difficult part is training the rest of the team that totally helps me with training at divisional level to get that into their brains as well. And it's going to take its time, but this is the way I know John wants the weekends to be run. It's the way I want the weekends to be run, and it's the way we need to get the others to run them as well. Because you'll probably learn 10 times more if I put you through a formal storm damage course and basically, or made you get up here and all present a lesson. Like my first T3 weekend that I attended was a chainsaw one, where you had to, you sort of got 2 days before the weekend, you got told you had to do a lesson, and everybody was going to get assessed in how they did their lesson. And I had a big argument with the state about this and won, and I said, well, what's the point of people arriving with a qualification and a skill, and the fact that they've got a small group training certificate, and we then reassess them to see whether they make a trainer or not. So we're just wasting our time. We're reinventing the wheel every time because we're not actually imparting new ideas and techniques, because it might have worked out that everybody had got up and given exactly the same lesson, or we wouldn't have had enough time to explore some of the things that we were able to explore with the workshops we ran, because you tend to sit there rigidly and you're more worried about your lesson that you're going to present next than finding out something new. So that's why I changed it, and I want to get a state on that, and they agreed with running them this way. Works. As a result, you don't actually get a certificate out of the weekend, because you should have pretty much the certificates you need. Colleen's got one more step to go to get her certificate, which is your small group trainer certificate. Will's got to go and do this course. What you should get out of this weekend is I'll send an email to Vicky and say that I want PRK set to, basically everybody will get one set for yourself, but I'll try and get 2 sent out to Bungendore anyway, so that you get one anyway, and then Colin can mentor you.
And definitely clear what when you're
Preparing,
doing your small group training, because
it's a full package.
yeah, the full package, the resources I've got are ones that I've scrounged
That's right.
and
So
reallocated.
that's what you should get out of the weekend now. And I don't, Vicky only just started that recently, and we agreed that was a good idea. And like John said, we should actually bring them at the beginning of the weekend, give them to you so you've got them for the weekend. So I'll address that in future.
Let this be a reminder to you all that this organization will not tolerate failure.
Oops! I did it again, baby.
Yeah!
What led you through the hopelessly tangled underbrush of private security organizations to our door, Stellar word of mouth? Our fine client roster? Those flyers we put up in that public urinal?